Chris Level here with another edition of Pirate Talk. My man Chip Darden, who coaches the Lubbock Cooper Pirates, right next to me. We will break down big win over Lubbock Coronado last week. It is homecoming this week. Everybody's excited. We know you are, especially this guy. And there's a big game against Amarillo High come Friday night at First United Park, Pirate Stadium, all that good stuff. We will talk about that as well. Might even ask Coach Darden here about his favorite flower, the mum. See, the mum finally gets its day in the spotlight when it in homecoming. So we will do that, all that on this edition. But man, 35-2, coming off of a bye week, you really wanted a fast start, and I mean 28-0 at halftime. I mean, I would say that qualifies.
Yeah, I think it started. We won a coin toss finally, first one we've won all year. But we prefer to defer and play defense first when we can, and sometimes situation, weather or something might impact that. But thought our defense just kind of started it off right, and then obviously being able to put some points on the board. We seemed relaxed. To me, totally different from in year to year. It's different teams, but that was just a focal point with kind of how it went last year against Coronado. We thought a fast start was important coming off the open week, and I felt like we were more relaxed from last year. Like it wasn't as tense. We were just playing football, and there's something about kind of the way the team handles the week. I think obviously puts them in a position to be relaxed and to just play. But I was proud of them. I was proud of how they did started the game and got off to a good start. And then Coronado was down their quarterback, and the kid that played, he can throw, but it's not his first thing that he wants to do. They want to run him, and so now I think getting a lead there obviously helped because it put them in a position where now they kind of had to play a different game than they wanted to.
Yeah, I think the young man you're talking about is Don Parrish, and he did about all he could for his team. I mean, he just tried to run it, did everything he could, but it just he got tackled a lot and all that, and kind of a lot of QB run game. Let's talk about Coach Lakeman's group. We talk a lot of offense on here, and rightfully so, but Coach Lakeman's group, really since that second half against Wiley, there's a few plays that Wiley got you guys on or got him on, but the first half of that game was great. But really, this has been kind of a story here. You guys have been kind of starting to get it together and on offense and rolling and everything, but the other team just can't really get anything going on their offense because Lakeman's group's playing so well. And it's not any one guy.
Yeah, they are, and I think we said it as coaching staff after the Midland High scrimmage. Just kind of said I think our defense has a chance of being really fast. And obviously that's what you want. You want to be fast. But I think it starts up front with them in the front seven. And, I mean, I could go through and list every player that plays a significant role. But, we got Cade Hayes back. I think that helped him and Josh Alvarado playing that end spot. And then, you've got guys in the middle that Sione Vea, he had a great game. Jackson Sewell, he's playing multiple spots. We can rotate him, and he can play multiple spots. And that, to me, that's just been huge for him to be able to do that. And I think our linebackers are another group that Hudson Cross, Cole Stanzioni have played really well. And then Ian Manili also in the interior. We're bigger. We knew that coming in than we were last year, but that front seven, I think, has set the tone with stopping the run, and I think that's winning football. Running the football, stopping the run. I think you got a good chance of winning football games, and that's kind of what we're doing.
And your guy Vinny,
who
kind of is a hybrid, kind of on the line sometimes, kind of a linebacker, but I just think he's just so long and big. I just think it's been fun to watch. I feel like we need to.
Yeah, and Vinny wanted to talk about he is one that. We've moved him around a bunch. Like there's times we thought he's going to be a tight end for us. He played free safety and boundary safety. And anyway, he's moved. We thought maybe defensive end, and it's just nice to see him settle in a spot and have some success because he can. That spot's tough. It's hybrid. You got to be able to cover sometimes man to man. You got to be able to blitz off the edge and play the run, and he's doing it all really well.
His sister was a stud on the hardwood.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Who's the best athlete in the family? Vinny, has he passed her up yet?
It's a tough to say. I'm going to say Vinny because I'm around Vinny every day right now.
I know, yeah. But his sister's a really good basketball player over there at Cooper. Offensively, to me, the storyline from Friday night was the distribution. It's I think 5 touchdowns scored by 4 different players, and it's you can't really see where it's going to hit you, but somebody's going to get you, and then by the end of the night, multiple people hit pay dirt. But kind of take me through the distribution.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of how our offensive staff, has kind of started to look at being balanced, more so than if you run 50 plays in a game, 25 of them being passes, 25 runs, or looking at yards or anything like that being even. For us to be a balanced offense, we think multiple people need to touch the ball and need to have big plays, and we just got the ability to do that. We've got guys that we feel good about. Jaden Kennard was one that the first 3 weeks I don't think he had a touch, and we had some kind of game plan stuff that we were trying to, and sometimes it just doesn't. Games are funny how they work out, and then the last 2 he's gotten a touchdown in them and had big games, and we see that out of him every day. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal getting those guys involved, because if you just have one, you got one guy. Michael Devers had a big year. You got one guy that can hurt you. Well, then they can double him. They can do stuff to take him away, and so we're hoping that we've got enough guys that make it tough to take one guy away.
Kennard, didn't he wear the neon gloves? Yeah. Well, because I can always tell when you up high and all that, you try to figure out who's who and all that stuff. I think I'm saying this. I think I'm accurate here. He's playing his best football since he's been here in the last 2 to 3 weeks. You could just tell whether it's blocking or when he runs, it's very aggressive. It's like the light has come on a little bit, or maybe it's like I don't have this many opportunities left, but you could just tell he plays with a purpose.
Yeah,
and
for
it's
sure.
Noticeable.
And I'll just tell you, we've seen it in practice from him all year. That's not new to us. It's good to see it translate into a game.
Absolutely.
It's good to see us, make sure that we're getting him involved and make sure he's a big part of the game plan.
And it was a weird game in that, 35-2, first half, just, a lot of scoring and moving the ball and different things like that. Second half was just kind of, everybody just kind of kicked the can around the yard a little bit. Probably not the way you wanted to play in the second half, but again, you won that game in the first half. Yeah. And you improved to 1-0 in district, and I just thought just kind of a business-like performance, I think, for the most part. Is that fair to?
Yeah, in the second half, I'll take all the blame on the second half. I think we maybe overthought or underthought kind of adjustments, and we adjust as the game goes on. I mean, we talked to our kids about that the other day. Just we kind of mid-season working on, as soon as the series is over, getting to the sideline. We kind of, one of our thoughts as coaches is, if we got to wait till halftime to make adjustments, we're not very good coaches. We need to make adjustments as the game goes on. But there's also a few little tweaks that you can make at halftime. A lot of times that's a good time to do it. And it wasn't called very well in the second half, and we got I'll learn from it. I'll be better, hopefully this week from it. But yeah, it wasn't a real good second half. I'll say third quarter mainly. I did think we played the fourth quarter pretty well, and I think that touchdown late, and I say it was late. It was early fourth quarter, our last touchdown. Yeah, that was a good drive, and it was a short drive. Defense got us a short field, but that was a good drive that we needed. And I think we saw some guys that hopefully are earning a lot of reps, and we're developing depth. I feel like anyway, that was a good drive. We needed to end the game with some positive and not have an entire second half and not moving the ball.
To be fair, you got a variety of different people in that second half. So it gets a bit disjointed, or there's guys getting reps in that hadn't played together, or you kind of swapped out your entire skill group, and all that stuff. And so that it served a purpose. But bottom line, though, 1-0 in district, and that's what you wanted. It drops, I think, Coronado to 1-1 on the year. And now you get old Amarillo High that is 2-0 in district, which is a big deal, and they've done that by outscoring Caprock and Tascosa combined 80-13.
Yep.
So, I mean,
yeah, they're and the thing about them, they lost a few games early, but those were all 6A programs that they lost to.
Legacy,
Odessa
High,
and Midland High.
Yeah.
And their combined record of the teams that beat them is pretty impressive. Like, couple losses, I think, between those three. So, I think some people just maybe look at records and go, well, they've got 3 losses, but that's not a typical 3-loss team. They're very good. I think looking at them, comparing them to last year, we had a lot of success last year. They're a totally different team. They are playing with a lot of confidence. They are very good, and I think the thing that stands out to me, like, you can look at different position groups, you can look at different individual players, but their team speed in general is very good. They do some things, special teams wise, I think that we try to do. They're not afraid to return a kick from 8 yards deep because they got dudes back there, and they're trying to put pressure on you in different areas. And anyway, just a really good team. We talked to our guys about this week a lot. You look at Texas high school football, and we might have talked about this last year even, but they're the third winningest program in all classifications Texas high school football history. So doesn't get much more tradition than being third all time. I mean, I think they're behind unreal the teams that they're behind too. So a lot of tradition, a lot of pride in that program. I'm sure they're using that it's homecoming as an advantage, just like we did last week when we were Coronados. But they're going to be very motivated. I think they're in a position where, like you said, they're 2-0. You get to 3-0. I don't mathematically you're not in the playoffs with 3 wins, but you're pretty dang close. And I think a bunch would have to happen with 3 wins for you to not get in the playoffs. So it's obviously a huge game. They got a lot to play for.
Yeah, and I just remember that game last year too. It was cold and rainy in Amarillo, and you guys got after them pretty good. But it was kind of in a way a surprise. Like you don't think you expected to go up there and win by the margin just because Amarillo High is good at everything.
Sure. Yep.
Really good running back, Pius Vokes, I think is his name. He's got like 700 yards. I think 7 touchdowns. You've seen this defensive scheme. You think the Coach Dunhams have talked this week about because obviously let's see, Chad Dunham coaches Amarillo High, and his brother coaches is the head coach at Dumas, so they've probably shared some.
Yeah, I've seen them like sometimes at events or whatever, and I tell them, hey, there's no sharing of any info from that game 1, but no, they do it right. They all of it. They coach kids right. They handle all of it right. But yeah, it is similar scheme. Those guys I believe came from. Abilene Cooper was the original where they kind of learned this scheme or developed it or whatever you might say, and then they both were at Dumas. And Chad was the head coach at Dumas. Aaron was the defense coordinator. Now Chad, obviously, they moved to Amarillo High, and Aaron got the Dumas head job. So very similar. Then I think what we say about Aaron and his Dumas teams all the time is no matter who they put on the field, they play extremely hard. Same thing for Amarillo High. They're playing really hard. And it should make for a good game.
Yeah, and it's not sold out. It's close, but don't fret. I just would tell you, if you're planning on going to this game, you get your tickets ahead of time, because don't wait till you get to the gate. It's going to be a madhouse, I would say. So try to plan it accordingly. Show up early and all those things, but you can get tickets. It is, and it's homecoming, as you mentioned, makes for a much longer halftime. There's all this pomp and circumstance that surrounds it throughout the week. Difficult as a coach to kind of keep your kids,
yeah, absolutely,
focused on their task at hand.
Yeah, when you first mentioned it, I rolled my eyes at homecoming, and I get it, and I love it. I love, like, we had a couple former players come to practice yesterday. That was kind of neat to see those guys, and I love seeing the former players and former students show up, and all of it's great. The hard part on my end and our coach's end is just, and that's why I roll my eyes, is making sure that we're focused. Like the last thing we want is distractions, and we try to limit those as much as possible. And this week's full of them. But I think a mature team handles those. If our team is immature, then distractions will get us. We won't play well. If we've got a mature team, and I think we do, then they know it's about a football game for us, that the football game is what matters.
I would say that coaches are a lot of things, but I would say that one of coaches' like top things that they try to do is, it's not coaching, it's not trying to grow up, it's trying to keep their kids from being distracted, which is a full-time job.
It is.
Off season, in the season, at halftime, in the middle of a series, be where your feet are.
Absolutely.
And it's easier said than done.
Absolutely.
Get off your phone.
I was going to say nowadays, like when I was in school, we didn't have cell phone, and I probably wasn't quite as easily distractible. But yeah, I mean, nowadays that's just tough, and it is. But again, our guys, I think, do a great job of it. I think we've got captains and leaders that kind of set the tone on some of the things we do. And I would be worried, as we go throughout the week, if we didn't look good or felt like we were distracted and worried about stuff that we didn't need to be worried about. But we've had a good week, so I think they're handling all of it well.
Now comes the homecoming portion of the program. Here we go. All right, let's get a little look behind the curtain there with Coach Darden.
My.
Okay. Ever bought or worn a mum or boutonniere?
Garter. I thought they were called
garter.
garter.
Whatever. Sorry, boutonniere's like garter.
Yeah.
With the
You
belt.
gotta wear it up here around your
up
muscles,
there.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet,
Okay.
man.
Back in shallow water.
Back in the day. Yeah, might have been homecoming king back at Shallowater, maybe.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not confirming that.
I think that's what we call on this program is a humble brag right there.
I'm actually lying.
Ever been in a parade before? When you think homecoming, you think parade.
Yeah, back in the hometown, they didn't do a homecoming parade, but there was a different event, the Harvest Festival back, and there was always a parade. So yep, been in a parade.
Sitting on the back of the car.
We got some old pictures at home when my dad was a football coach and sitting on his lap in a parade. So I've been in several.
I'm kind of anti-parade. I'm not really, parades are, I don't know, man. I just, there's other stuff I'd rather be doing than a parade. I don't mind watching it on Thanksgiving morning. It's kind of like, because I know football's about to start and all that stuff. Did you or any of your staff, do you participate in the dress-up days, which goes on at school each day? No?
No.
What was the best one of the week, the day leading up?
I don't even know what they were.
I mean, pajama day.
I want to say one was a
day.
tractor green.
John Deere.
Wearing green.
John Deere, yeah.
So I did see some people wearing.
Okay.
There was one student that was like wearing green, had painted their face green, and I did notice that one. I don't know who it was. But,
that's just part of the festivities here.
Yeah. Nope, I'm out on dress-up days.
Okay, and typically with homecoming comes the dance. There's usually a school dance, whatever.
We don't have one here.
I know, but that's kind of some homecoming fare right there.
Okay,
You have a homecoming dance.
Sure.
Back in the day, were you get in the middle of the room and like let's get after it with the moves, or were you more hanging by the punch bowl?
So I think I want to reverse this and ask you what you think I would be. What would I have been knowing me?
I would probably tilt on this question more to the middle of the room, kind of like, "Hey, man, yeah, let's do our thing." But I'm not.
See, no.
You're more of a.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not a dancer.
Okay.
I mean, maybe the
Most
old
of the
school.
people in the middle of the room aren't like good dancers, but they don't. They can't.
That's not me.
Okay.
Like maybe the slow dance with a girl,
Oh yeah,
like
and you just the hand on the hips and just you just kind of sway back and forth.
Yeah, that's more my style.
Like the skating rink.
With Stacy, of course.
Absolutely. Yes. Love you, Stacy. Yes. Tried to get her to come on the show, and I think my invitation has been declined.
It's probably good for everybody.
That's right. Okay, who on your staff, and I'm going to eliminate Lee Hayes from this answer. Who would you nominate for Homecoming King? It has to be somebody on your coaching staff.
Oh, man.
Who would get that vote?
I don't know what are the parameters of being homecoming king. Is it just?
I think just a pretty face, like maybe some polish. Maybe would look good, in a parade. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going Drew Peters.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
DP,
and
I like
I'll tell you, Drew Peters at the homecoming dance is in the middle of it.
See,
100%.
doing like the whole. Okay, of this I have no doubt.
Yep.
Yeah, we love you, DP.
I think like maybe got second on a close vote is Corey Lynch, just because he's so nice to everybody. Like he's good people.
He's wonderful.
He's going to get a lot of really good
votes.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, because there's not many people there or anybody that's going to have a bad thing to say about Corey Lynch. I agree there. Homecoming is about a lot of pomp and circumstance, and non-football related things. So I must ask you your take on the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift
hubbub.
hubbub.
I want that to be over I am tired of hearing about that.
Focus on the
You
game.
focus on the game.
Okay.
I think Travis Kelce kind of said that the other day
I
too,
think
didn't he?
I think he's just come out and said that, man, come on.
Yeah,
let
like
me-
let's go.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Um,
But hey, if there's a positive about it, I think it's maybe getting some people interested in football that weren't interested in
I
football.
would agree. Yeah,
So,
well, yeah, check the ratings.
positive spin.
Check
Yep.
the ratings. The pep rally. Do players get to talk at this? Mm-hmm. Okay. How does that
Usually.
get decided upon? Because I can only go back to this scene from Varsity Blues. Lance
Yeah.
Harbor.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I was dreaming, and I dreamed we were beating Bingville 14-3, and then I woke up and realized we're going to beat Bingville.
Yeah,
you remember that?
I do.
Okay, yeah, and there's all the oohs and ahs from the girls and everything like that in the crowd. But who
Yeah,
gets to talk at the pep
usually
rally?
we start with captains, and so I'll ask a captain, and a lot of times, do you want to do this? And some of them are all about it, some of them no way.
No way,
So,
okay, yeah.
and the speeches, we gotta get better at our speeches. Mackay, I think, gave a good one. Holton has given one this year. I can't remember. There was a third in there, but
I heard Mackay give a prayer before breakfast recently.
Mm-hmm.
I walked away about as impressed with that young man as
Yeah.
I mean. It was very. He puts a lot of thought into what he says, and that's
Yeah.
comes very natural to him. So,
yeah, he's a good one. He is
a good
he
one.
is good
Yeah.
people and a great captain for us. I've been really proud of him.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, well, see, you made it through. It's super
I want to
easy.
ask
It was
you
fun.
some of these questions
No,
too.
I'm just having some
like
fun.
I feel like you're in the middle of it, in the middle of the dance. Like I kind of
Nah,
interested in seeing some of those moves.
I don't think so. I don't know if that would have been the case. Anyway, but yeah, and like the mom, I just think it's funny because it's kind of like the turkey on Thanksgiving. It's like it's bright shining moment. Everybody and well, I say that it was its bright shining moment, but it's featured. But it's just you're gonna consume. But the mom, it's like it just
Once
gets
a year.
left out.
Once
and
a year.
When homecoming rolls around, man, look out.
Maybe you could bring it back, like a different event, and make it a year
Make it a thing.
year long thing.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
be your contribution to society.
All right. Well, hey, good stuff, man.
Hey,
There
appreciate
is.
it.
Good luck on Friday night, Amarillo High, 7:00, Pirate Stadium, First Unit Park. Make sure you're there. Get your tickets early, folks. Most of them are sold out. You can still get them. Don't wait. Buy them ahead of time. It will save you a lot of time and effort. And if you can't be there, you can watch it on the LCISD YouTube channel. My man Colton Coons behind the camera will help produce that broadcast. And Tommy Wood, Chuck Darden, Taylor Peters be on the mic for that one. So that's going to do it for another edition of Pirate Talk, folks. We'll talk to you next week.